class 11th. Today we will be studying and continuing Pteridophytes, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. Pteridophyta. In this, examples are found. Pteridophyta characteristics. Pteridophytes are considered as the first plant to be evolved on Earth. They are the reptiles. They are the first successful plants on the land. Till yet, we have studied about bryophytes, which were known as the amphibians of plant kingdom because they needed water for fertilization. But over here, pteridophytes are the first land plants. And it is also speculated that life began in the oceans through the millions of years of evolution and adapted to dry land, and pteridophytes came first. They are cryptogams again because they are seedless, but they are vascular as they have got the xylem and the phloem. But the peculiar point in them, the spores are well developed in sporangia. In the first slide only, I told you how the leaves are curled and the sporangium are there. They can be homosporous where the same type of spores are there, and heterosporous means the two different kinds of spores are present. Sporangia are produced in the groups on the sporophytes. Over here, the leaves bear the sporangia termed as sporophytes, and the tip of leaves are curved inside. Okay, and the sex organs, antheridium and archegonium. Antheridia are for the male gamete, and archegonium for the female gamete. They show true alternation of generation. I told you about the sporophyte and the gametophyte body. Sporophyte is what? Sporophyte, which is giving rise to spore on meiosis, and gametophyte, the gametes. The main plant body is sporophyte. The pteridophytes are classified into Psilopsida, the first classification, which is the most primitive. And the stem is photosynthetic. Rhizoids are present, root-like fine, and leaves are mostly absent. The sporophyte is homosporous in origin. Lycopsida, example is Selaginella and Lycopodium. They are commonly known as the club moss. Over here, don't get confused. Mosses are the classification of bryophytes. So they will also have the thallus type of body. Adventitious root are the false root, and that is why they are called as club moss. The sporophyte is homosporous and it can be heterosporous too. Spinopsida, commonly known as the horsetail, and their well-differentiated plant body, the roots arising from the nodes and underground rhizomes is there. Homosporous sporangia, which are born and they are born on strobili. Example is equisitum. Pteropsida, commonly known as the fern. The second figure in the second slide was the fern, which is used as the ornamental plant, which is well-differentiated plant body with the roots, stems, and the leaves. And the sporophyte, which can be of the same homosporous or the heterosporous. Example is adiantum. What are the useful activity in the pteridophytes? They are used in the ecology as a soil conservation, as a biofertilizer, as food, as in the medicines, also in chemical production. They have got a wide range of useful activities. Now comes the gymnosperms. Gymno means naked seeds. Over here, naked seed, and you can see the woody sporangia. In these figure, you can easily observe. Gymnosperms are the plants in which the ovules are not enclosed by the ovary wall, and that is why they have got the naked seeds. And the seeds that develop after fertilization are not covered. They can contain conifers. Conifers, these are the cycas, and the pinus is the great example of it, and but they have a difference also in the cycas and the pinus. Gymnosperms include, they have variety, small size also to the tall size also, and they have a taproot system. Mycorrhiza is the symbiotic association of the gymnosperms, okay, and with a fungal association, while pinus while in some others and in cycas, small specialized root, coralloid roots are associated with the nitrogen fixation, that is the cyanobacteria, heterotrophic. This is the life cycle of gymnosperm. The peculiar feature I would like to tell you over here that the endosperm of gymnosperm is haploid. Okay, that develops only from the female gamete. Over here, the body is diploid and haploid are the reproductive organs which or in where the meiosis is going to occur and will lead to the formation of the spore. So the main plant body is diploid, the sporophyte body. Economic importance of gymnosperms. Some edible gymnosperms like cycas, chinko, pinus, genetum is there. And the seed of stems of cycas is called as sago, which is the starch and also called as the arrowroot. Seed and stems of cycas is also used in the wine industry. Examined as a rich source of starch. The main difference between cycas and pinus is very important as it has been asked many times that cycas is a plant genus consisting of small palm-like trees where the pinus is a plant genus consisting of tall branch trees. Cycas is dioecious. Dioecious means unisexual and pinus is monoecious. Monoecious means bisexual. Keep it in mind. Angiosperm. The day-to-day life, we see many angiospermic plants around us. Angiosperms are the plant in which the ovules and pollen grains are enclosed in the flowers. The seed in the angiosperms are enclosed in the fruit. Now, the microscopic angiosperm is Wolffia and the tall tree is Eucalyptus. They provide us not only with the food but also fodder, fuel, medicines, and other commercially important products also. Angiosperms are divided into two classes, that is monocot and dicot. Monocot have one cotyledon and dicot have two cotyledon. This is the life cycle of an angiosperm where the anther, which will have the pollen sac and the pollen grain inside them, and which is called as the by meiosis process will produce microspore. One microspore mother cell will give rise to 4 microspores. Then the female gametophyte. The female gametophyte over here, the megaspore mother cell, in which inside the ovule will be the embryo sac. Double fertilization and triple fusion is there in your syllabus. The main plant body is sporophyte, and so we say as the sporophytic generation or the diplontic generation. Male and the female gamete fuses to form the zygote inside the egg, and the zygote leading to the formation of embryo and embryo to a sporophytic body that is diploid in nature. What is double fertilization? Double fertilization inside the embryo sac, which consists of 3 antipodal cells, 1 egg cell, and 2 synergid cells. When the polar nuclei inside between which is 1 cell and 2 nucleus is there, and the male gamete which reaches this embryo sac, the one male gamete fuses with the egg cell and forms zygote, and the second egg cell fuses with the polar nuclei. So n plus n plus n, so 3 haploid cell is going to fuse to form the triploid endosperm in angiosperm. So angiosperm, endosperm is triploid and zygote is diploid. This is double fertilization. And what is triple fusion? Triple fusion is the union of the 3 haploid cell, that is N of the male gamete and 2N of the polar nuclei, which is forming the endosperm. This over here in this slide, it is well explained that how the events are going through the 3 antipodal. What is the fate of antipodal cell and synergid cells? Antipodal cell provides the nutrition to the polar nuclei when the male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei, and synergid cells provides nutrition to the egg cell when the zygote is formed, and when the zygote will form and the fusion fertilization will occur. This is double fertilization over here. PEC is the primary endosperm cell and PN is the primary endosperm nucleus, that is 3N triploid. And the degenerating antipodal cells are there, which is providing its nutrition, giving its nutrition to the endosperm. Fertilization is the fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete to produce a zygote. The pollen grain produces the male gamete and embryo sac, which consists of the egg cell and the polar nuclei. Difference between syngamy and triple fusion. Syngamy is fertilization only, that is the fusion of the egg cell and the male gamete, and triple fusion where the vegetative fertilization fusion of the one male gamete and the two vegetative nuclei of the polar nuclei. Syngamy leads to the formation of a diploid zygote, while triple fusion leads to the formation of the endosperm cell, that is 3N. Thank you, class. Go through the slides again and again, revise it carefully. If any query is there, do ask me. Thank you.